again. It's a rich thing.
Hello guys, today in this video, we're going to help you to find out the best ice cream makers in market. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their quality, durability, customer review, and more. If you want to see their price and find out more information about them, you can check our links in the description below.
It's a rich thing.
Number 10. Cuisinart Mix-It in Soft Serve. Soft serve is a different beast than standard ice cream, requiring different recipes and freezing procedures to achieve that ideal not quite scoopable, not quite pourable texture. Cuisinart's Mix-It-In machine not only creates and dispenses soft serve directly into a cone thanks to the included holder, but it also holds 3 toppings of your choice and keeps a cup of fudge, caramel, or other sauce warm for drizzling. It's a fun treat for kids, or the kid in all of us. However, there's a good reason that home soft serve makers are fairly uncommon. Making soft serve can be challenging. During our tests, there was only a short window when the texture was right for dispensing. It was too liquid before that, and then too solid afterward to push cleanly through the spout. And even in optimal form, the ice cream came out too airy and whipped cream-like. The accessories also didn't work as well as advertised. Number 9. Winter Automatic Compressor. A compressor-based ice cream maker costs more than a canister style, but it's also a lot more versatile. This winner is a tiny freezer, able to turn room temperature ingredients into frozen treats with a button. It features an automatic timer for freezing ice cream and sorbet, but it also doubles as a yogurt maker, with a gentle heating mode to maintain the optimal fermentation temperature. In testing, the textures of our sorbet and ice cream were both wonderful. The winner works somewhat faster than other compressor models, albeit slower than the pre-frozen canister style. Our biggest complaints are fairly minor. A lot of the ice cream and sorbet stuck to the paddle as we pulled it out of the machine, and we had to do a lot of careful scraping to get everything into a food storage container. Winter is a big name in compressor ice cream makers. Number 8. KitchenAid Ice Cream Maker Attachment. The classic KitchenAid stand mixer can of course mix batters, whip egg whites, and knead doughs, but it's an even more indispensable kitchen appliance when you consider all the attachments and accessories that can extend its functionality to everything from stuffing sausages to pressing fresh pasta. Compatible with both tilt head and bowl lift mixers, this attachment turns the KitchenAid into an electric ice cream maker, too. It comes with a 2-quart bowl that you freeze for 24 hours, as well as a special paddle attachment sized to fit. You can't use the standard KitchenAid paddle since the bowl is smaller. You pour in your base mixture, set the mixer to stir, that's the slowest setting, and let it do its thing. The instructions say a batch should take 20 to 30 minutes to freeze, but with both the sorbet and ice cream tests, our batches were still a bit soft even after half an hour. Number 7. Yonana's Classic Soft Serve Dessert Maker. The Yonana's machine is admittedly a little gimmicky. It chops up frozen bananas and other fruit into a soft serve like vegan dessert, and that's really all it does. You can't use it to freeze standard ice cream or sorbet bases, and you can't put anything in it besides peeled, pitted fruit. But we enjoyed the tasty soft serve we got when we tested it out. It works essentially like a food processor. You load the fruit into the top and push it down with a plunger, and then pulverized frozen pulp comes out directly into the serving bowl. Using a combination of bananas and strawberries, we got a treat that was creamy and scoopable. Look, you're not going to mistake the results of the Yonana's for real dairy ice cream. Our test batch had chunks of fruit in it and kind of a brie texture, but it makes a healthier dessert that could be great for ice cream loving kids. Number 6. Chevin's Sweet Spot Ice Cream Maker. Rolled ice cream is a treat made by spreading and scraping a liquid base across an ice-cold surface as it freezes. The technique yields a delicious texture, and it's also a fun and safe way for kids to get hands-on in making their own ice cream. The sweet spot is in the shape of a pie pan, made of dense material that will stay ice-cold for a good while after freezing overnight. You pour about half a cup of liquid into the pan, then use the included plastic paddles to stir, scrape, and scoop as it freezes. You have to keep everything in constant motion for best results. but the instructions say it should only take 2 minutes to freeze. In our tests, it took 1.5 minutes for excellent ice cream, but we went for just over 3 minutes to get firmer sorbet. We were honestly blown away by the sorbet this thing made. Number 5. Cuisinart Ice Cream and Gelato Maker. Most ice cream makers can freeze a batch in an hour or less if you don't count the full day the bowl has to chill beforehand. Yes, you could keep the bowl in the freezer, but it takes up a lot of space. The Cuisinart Ice 100 has an onboard compressor, which means there's no proofreezing required. It lets you make ice cream on a whim whenever you'd like, but the trade-off is that compressor ice cream makers are quite a bit more expensive than units with a basic motor and a freezable bowl. The Cuisinart Ice 100 is a great base-level compressor unit, a workhorse that freezes a 1.5 quart batch in an hour or less. Its single churning speed is fairly slow, which was a good thing in our sorbet test. We got a very smooth and fruit-forward strawberry sorbet, and it was ready in 41 minutes. The manual recommends a full hour for sorbet. We were monitoring the machine and decided to stop it early. Number 4. Nostalgia Wood Bucket. Long ago, even before the freezer was invented, it was still possible to make ice cream at home. You just needed a bucket of ice and salt, a hand crank, and lots of muscle power. The salt is there to melt the ice and lower the freezing point of the liquid. This machine replicates that method, complete with a wooden bucket, though it thankfully electrifies the crank part. The Nostalgia model is fun for its, well, nostalgia, but it also features a huge capacity of up to a gallon of ice cream per batch. While we tested this ice cream maker, we found that you need to get the salt and ice layering just right for best results, which is unfortunate as there aren't very specific instructions included on how much of each to use. We'd suggest starting with at least 8 pounds of ice and 3 cups of salt, and make sure the interior container is flush with the bottom as you load up ice and salt around the sides. Number 3. Breville the Smart Scoop. If you're ready to get serious about making ice cream, the Smart Scoop offers lots of functionality for its steep price tag. Most importantly, it has its own compressor just like a full-size freezer or air conditioner and chills the bowl while it churns. After the ice cream is done, it'll even hold it at the perfect scooping temperature for up to 3 hours. You can pre-freeze the bowl just like with other models, but you can also set the machine to chill the bowl for you while you prepare your ice cream or sorbet base. And you don't have to worry about refreezing the bowl between batches, which is a boon as the machine can only make about a quart at a time, and a batch can take nearly an hour to freeze. When it comes to settings, the Smart Scoop offers pinpoint control. Number 2. Cuisinart Frozen Yogurt. The Cuisinart Ice May 21st not have all the bells and whistles of higher-end models, but it's fully automatic and can deliver quality homemade ice cream in 20 minutes at an excellent price. The process is simple and designed to be mess-free. The double-insulated freezer bowl fits into the base, the mixing paddle fits into that, and the plastic cover holds everything together. You pour in your base mixture, and as the bowl spins, the paddle scrapes a layer of frozen material off the interior wall, incorporating it back into the mixture. After about 20 minutes, you get fully churned ice cream. To add mix-ins, you just toss them into the bowl when the batch is almost done spinning. There's only one setting, one blade, and no timers to worry about. In testing, our ice cream and sorbet both had even textures, albeit a bit softer and more soft serve-like than some other machines. Number 1. Ninja Creami Deluxe 11-in-1. While most ice cream makers freeze the liquid base while whipping in air at the same time, the Ninja Creami starts with a jar of frozen base and uses a special blender blade like creamerizer paddle to give it a proper smooth and velvety texture. The unusual method made our lab's team of trained chefs and experienced home cooks suspicious, but in the end, the TikTok famous gadget turned out to be the best ice cream machine we've ever used. With both sorbet and ice cream, the Creami Deluxe produced a firm and consistently textured product, with no ice crystals or unspun base built up in the corners of the container. Both were ready to eat and perfect straight out of the machine. After 2 hours of refreezing, the ice cream maintained its texture exactly, and the sorbet was still pretty good, a bit denser than we'd like, with a few ice crystals on top.